So I thought I'd make a video. This is my first show coming up tomorrow. And as my first show comes up, I've made some products here. I'm going to kind of go through them very quickly, but I really want to do this for two things. I want to kind of let you know what I was doing ahead of time, and then I'm going to come back afterwards and let you know how it went. So here we go. So I have a lot of products here. I think the cutting boards in the back, we'll start in the back here with the cutting boards. I've got both face grain and edge grain cutting boards. Some have grooves. There's some different shapes and styles in here. I have some smaller boards. I also have some cheese boards. I have some votive candle holders and some different kinds of styles here. These are some of my favorites, the bourbon smokers. I have a little crab on this one and the Maryland on this because we're from Maryland here. And these are in different kinds of woods. This is a tiger wood, a sapelli, a walnut. And the whole idea is to see, how people like that. If you like a cocktail smoker, those I hope are good. These are obviously just bottle openers, but part of my idea here is I'm selling them for $6 or 2 for $10, trying to get people to come in and buy these products. Then I have a bunch of coasters here. Some have holders, some don't. And then in the back, I guess the last one here, I have a couple charcuterie boards and a nice cherry with beautiful handles here. Hammered handles, they call them. And then I have a bunch of flower boxes, about 10 of these small flower boxes. A couple of them do have some painted legs to them. And then I have the small trellises behind these that I'm also selling. These are 2 feet long. I also have a 4-foot trellis. This is the 4-foot trellis, which is 4 feet. And then the big one is a 6-foot trellis. And this one is 6 feet, so it's a good sized trellis. And the nice part about these is that you can use them in your actual garden. They're very functional, and I can sell them for a lot less, and they're a lot better than the big box store. So I'm hoping these guys sell tomorrow. We'll find out. It's my first show, and I'm kind of anxious to see how it goes. I thought about talking about goals I have for tomorrow, and I decided after looking at a lot of things, I don't really want to put money goals out there. I think it's just to kind of get used to it, talk to people. You can probably tell I'm okay with doing with that. That's not going to be much of a problem. But I'm hoping to get some feedback. One of the things is I always want to pay attention to what the customer wants, not what I like, because I want to make what the customer wants because that'll let me sell them. So if they like these or they like those, that's going to help guide my business going forward. This is a first step for me. So we'll see how it goes, and I'll give you a report back after we're done tomorrow. Thanks. Okay, as promised, here I am with the follow-up to my very first sale. So the first thing I should point out is that it was kind of a rainy day. It was 50 degrees, a little bit of mist. Certainly didn't help with customers coming by. I'd be able to check out some of my products and stay a while. But there were a good number of customers there. I don't know, 200 to 300, I would guess, who went by. Plenty of booths there, so plenty of activities for people to come by. And I'm going to talk about feedback at the end of this video, but I thought I'd jump into some other things. I want to talk about how I set things up and how it looked, if this helps you at all. Like you, I probably looked around at 50 videos about how people do things. So one of the things I ended up doing was buying a couple of little stretchy tablecloths. I think that really helped. My wife was smart enough to bring a nice little towel which dusted things off. Sawdust is on stuff, made my products look better. I was really grateful for that. I also thought a lot about signage along the way. I don't have a lot of them left, but I had these little stickers on here. And my wife's nice handwriting makes it look a lot better than mine. But it was nice so customers could see that. We kind of developed that during the day, and it became obvious that people were looking. And whether it was too high or the right price for them, at least it gave them some information back right away. The other thing I did is I created a little description. I put them in a little plastic binder, which actually turns out is fantastic on a nice rainy day because it didn't go away. But it was there. Some people looked at it. They could look at it at a glance. They could look at it a little more in depth. I have a little description along the way. The nice part is I'm perfectly okay with talking to people, so I ask them, and if you have any questions, let me know. They'd look at it, and we'd start a conversation. I'm perfectly okay with that. I realize a lot of people aren't. I enjoy talking to people. So one of the pieces of advice I took from other folks I think really worked out well for me was engaging people, not sitting on a chair, not working on something else. I enjoyed getting the feedback along the way. A couple things I probably should have done a little better at was making sure that I was doing things like I sold a couple of these bourbon smokers, cocktail smokers, and I had to literally explain this to a couple people along the way, which kind of surprised me. I thought everybody kind of knew what they were, and I really had intended to take a little video and put it on one of the little devices I have over here. This is just an old Amazon Fire tablet, but I can load a 30-second video on it and loop it around. I think that would have helped a lot because the cool part of a bourbon smoker is, you light it on fire and it opens up. And when I was talking to people, I'd explain that to them and they, oh yeah, I saw that in a restaurant, or I smell that. That smells great. Is that what that is? So I think I could have done better with that, like as a display item. And I'm going to want to change that as I go forward. But still sold a few of those along the way. The other thing I would add with the bourbon smoker is one of these, which is just a small little tin full of wood chips. As it turns out, a lot of people are like, hey, where do you get the wood chips? And of course, like everybody else, you say, you can get them yourself, you can get them from Amazon. And, for this, I should probably just figure out a way to include this in the price and say, hey, here's your starter. Here's some more availability here. Maybe even create my own and sell some along the way if people like them. This isn't something you run out of real quick, so I'm not expecting a lot of sales, but really as an add-on, as something to give it to them when they purchase the product, I think I should just put that in the price going forward. I think that'd be smarter. So mistake on my part, or a lesson learned on my part, I guess, somewhere along the way. In terms of total sales, I did okay. Taking out the fee I had to pay to get into the yard sale and selling some things like a couple of these flower boxes, a couple of the other items that I have. I did I think pretty well. I'm happy with that. I really wasn't expecting to do a lot in terms of sales. I was hoping to get a lot of feedback. I really got a lot of great feedback, which I liked, and not just compliments for the sake of compliments to make me feel good, but hey, I really like this. How much are those? People with some real interest in what these products were. I think one of the downfalls of where I was, it was more of a yard sale crowd, people trying to find bargains and things. The folks next door to me had an estate sale for a parent that had recently died, and people were rifling through things that were 30 and 40 years old and not coming over to my booth. I realized these aren't the same kind of people that we're trying to get here, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's just maybe I need to kind of vet where I'm going a little better somewhere along the way. Still, I got a lot of great feedback. 3 or 4 people, I would say, made it known that they were in the business of doing this, or they had an uncle, or they'd been doing this for 30 years. And it's really nice to hear when they come back and they talk about some cutting board that I can, talk about how it's made, the product, the quality. They all thought the pricing was fair. So I got a lot of good feedback with that somewhere along the way. I didn't get to sell many of these kind of things along the way. Again, probably the wrong kind of area to do this. Had some friends suggest to me I should probably reach out to the local, nursery and see if they're interested in doing it. So I'm going to do that. Why not? But I know I have a website coming up pretty soon, and I'm going to be able to sell some products. And part of what I was trying to do here is trying to figure out, how do I want to create my business? Going to yard sales and craft fairs is okay, and it's nice to do that. And I think my vision is that I'll do that every once in a while. That wouldn't be the major motive. I think I want to be able to start an online venue. A lot of people like things like the cutting boards. I feel good about explaining why you want to use this kind of wood, or an edge grain instead of an end grain, anything like that. And I feel like I could do that through a website. So I'm going to explore things. Maybe it'll be Etsy, maybe Facebook Marketplace, but we'll see how that goes somewhere along the way. So all in all, I'm okay with the way things worked. I didn't sell too much. I sold a little bit. I have some extra product left over. I'm pretty sure I can get rid of it locally here with some friends I'm reaching out to. I've let a lot of people know that I'm starting this up, and they keep seeing things. They're like, when, which is awesome. That's what I want, right? Let's hope that works out. Okay. So, hey, hope this is the first of many videos to come. We'll be able to look at this video too and decide what I'm doing terribly wrong in my first video. So, thanks.